This conference will now be recorded.
And before you start, Fred, so Paul's on there. I just want to kind of give them the rundown. They'll go through some basic minutes and accounts payable and stuff, Paul, and then we'll get you, after a public comment here, we'll get you right in there.
That sounds great. I'll stand by.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Need to approve the agenda.
We did have an addition of 7B, which is the Greater Minnesota Parks and Trails membership renewal request.
All right, I'll motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Approved minutes from February 6th. Additions or corrections should be done there.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from February.
I will second.
A motion to approve the minute, motion and a second to approve the minutes from February 6th. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Approved accounts payable of $286.40.
I was like, this is probably the smallest one I've ever seen.
Trust me, I looked everywhere because I'm like, I'm
Make a motion to approve the accounts payable.
I will second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the accounts payable. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Now we'll have the public comment. That's,
Howie is here from the Veterans Committee and he'd asked to speak. That's right? We want to use the Veterans Committee, right, Howie?
No,
Oh,
this has nothing to do with them. This is
civilian.
a private request. Me.
oh, but overall, we are going to be talking about how that would be handled in the future a little bit. I think we should, right?
That- Anyway, I'm here. I've got a son-in-law that will be retiring from the military after 20 years. And he's requested that he would like to have his retirement ceremony at the Veterans Memorial. And I'm just wondering, who do I ask permission from to schedule that out there? And is that something that would be allowed?
oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's something that we probably should talk about, you know, whether, I know it's parkland and everything, but it's kind of been given over to you
There's kind of
guys.
two ownerships there, yeah, I know.
Right. And
That's why I'm starting here.
And I guess as far as I'm concerned, you know, that way you guys can keep a schedule of it, you know, or whatever, something going on that day. I don't know, I personally think stuff like that, just running through the Legion over here,
Through the Veterans Memorial Committee?
yeah, I guess on some stuff like that. I mean, if it's a great big hoopla, not that you have to come and get permission from us, but just make us aware of if there's something big going
Well,
on.
I would say as long as we keep it consistent, but my guess is you're gonna hear more, you're gonna probably hear first about people that would like to schedule something there. So rather than make them jump through the hoop of calling me to schedule, I think we should just,
So Howie and I just, and kind of the same thing, that's what we discussed. I said, people are gonna probably go to the VFW to ask that permission anyway, to start with. I mean, I don't think they would think of coming to City Hall for it. And then, but there was some other stuff that was scheduling too, and I think it would be easier for I look at it as that memorial is the veterans overall. I know it's on parkland. I feel don't feel like we really should be able to give them permission for it.
Right, that we would probably approve something that, because even if somebody would come to us, I would say we should direct them to them.
Correct.
Right.
being that you guys or the committee has, raised all the funds, covered all the, paid for all the stuff, I feel like
That's my
to me,
feeling,
it would make sense for them to make sure that they have permission from the
And,
committee.
and really, it's asking, it's on veterans. To me, it was really donated to the veterans. The whole thing, even the land, And Howie just brought up some, and as far as scheduling, even if somebody wanted to have a funeral service or something up there, and I just don't see any other than scheduling it. And I still think that they'd probably schedule it through the VFW easier than they would us.
The VFW really doesn't have anything to do with
No,
it.
but they would be the contact to get a hold of the committee
The
group
committee.
somehow.
Yeah, we could get a hold of the committee,
Yeah.
but the committee, the way I'm hearing you say it, the committee should be the one to contact and schedule it with them and get permission from them to have something up there.
The majority of people in the town or whatever have no clue that we even have anything to do with that anymore.
Right.
To me, everybody's thinking, no, that's the Veterans Memorial.
But to be honest with you, I'm happy to keep a schedule of it if you think it would just be easier for us to do it. But are people that schedule things that it gonna need to arrange things with you guys anyway? Like, are they gonna want some kind of a guard or something up there for any kind of ceremonies or?
I'm no longer on the committee, by the way.
Okay, so, okay.
Okay. But as far as I know, we've never had anyone make a request to do anything up there.
Yep.
So
So who's in charge? Is it Brad?
Brad Nord is the chair of the committee.
So just, and this is just me thinking out loud here a little bit. Will you guys have any Memorial Day things going on up there
As far as I know, no.
Okay.
I don't think there's going to be any change
to what you
in
guys
what
are? I didn't know
has
if
been
you.
happening because the amount of people and everything.
Sure.
We'll just keep it the same.
Sure.
You think that's, the right way to do it, or have the committee take care of that, or you want everybody to come to us? What's your thought?
I kind of think that, or agree with going to the committee to schedule it, but if city can keep a schedule on it so that there isn't overlapping, people, I can't see that would ever really happen, but if it would, then at least you'd know that
I think
that there's something going to happen that day.
Yep.
And it would help with the police department and stuff too, because
Yep.
there isn't a lot of parking out there. There'll be extra parking on the streets.
Yep.
And that kind
So
of thing.
I'd be happy to talk to Brad about it too, just to kind of,
I was going to say we should either send a letter to the committee or whatever and say this is what we want to happen, and we still.
just get an idea of what Brad wants that to look like,
Mhm.
how we can make that work together. Yeah, I'm okay with whatever.
I'd rather have them be, we can schedule, but I'd rather have them be in charge of approving or disapproving what
Right.
goes on
Sure.
up there.
Right.
Yep.
And I think that would be, I think you're absolutely right, because still don't feel like we would have any business doing that. That's it.
Or then get that all dialed in
And we really do appreciate that out there. Howard.
Oh,
That is,
yeah,
that's a
it has
wonderful.
turned out really nice,
Yeah.
and I know they're going to continue to work on it.
have everything in there, so this time we can approve Is that what you want, or just, when is this happening?
It'll be in, I think, the middle of June.
Okay, yeah, we'll have it all taken care
We've
of.
got plenty of time on it. and-
Yep.
So I'll take it that you're turning it over to the committee, and I'll ask Brad for permission to have it, and then he can,
From the committee.
you'll be contacting him and.
Yep.
have
So
a
whether he
schedule book or
pencils you
something.
in or I pencil you in, somebody will pencil you in.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Bet.
no problem.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, that's good. Good to get the ball
Thanks,
rolling.
Howie.
Thanks, Howie.
See you later.
Yep, finished business. We're gonna move the skate park update. And Mike, I'll let you take away.
Yep, so tonight I've got Paul Tong from Fresh Park. He's manager of Fresh Park Skate. I'd asked for a price for a skate park comparable to what we have out there now. And in the front of your packet, I believe it was layout number 2, which would be similar. And I think at the time that, Paul, you can chime in too, but it was around $4,900 for that option. That option obviously is much less than what we can fix the old skate park for. And then I've included some different options, different layouts with the cost with them. Also included an installation for a lockdown kit so the pieces can be fastened to the concrete. Then I guess I'll turn it over to Paul if you've got anything you'd like to add to that, or if you've got some questions.
That sounds great, Mike. Thank you guys for the opportunity for me to talk here. So Mike was voicing his interest in the layout 2, which is the $4,911. That doesn't include the shipping, but it shouldn't be that much because I think you guys were looking for the range of around $6,500. So a little bit about Fresh Park Industries. We've been in business for over 20 years, and we're the only skate ramp makers that follow and adhere to the ASTM standards. So they're really the safest ramps for 13 and under specifically, because we build our ramps, even our quarter pipes are under or equal to a 4 foot, which significantly reduces the chance for brain damage. So Mike and I talked about permanently fixing the ramps and the rails to the lot that you guys have at the place of the old skate park. So we have lockdown kits available, or if you guys have better rates, you guys can source that otherwise. But a great selling point of our ramps is that because they're foldable and very portable, if you guys have even a shed space to store them in, what's really great for municipalities such as yours is that this really limits your liability. So for example, a skate park that's permanently fixtured can have someone hop the fence and then go in and try to skate at 1 a.m. And if they get hurt on it, you guys need to be insured for that type of liability. But our cities love our products because after you're done using it, you can fold it and just store it away in a nearby building. You can have it in a truck or a van or a shed with a lock on it. That way you guys are not liable for any personal injuries or anything like that. It includes a bunch of so another great thing about another selling point for the not having it permanently fixed would be that when kids come to skate parks, they come to the same layouts every time, and they'll get stagnant of it, they'll get bored of it. But our ramps are really like Legos. Like for example, our quarter pipes is made with 3 curved panels and then the top flat panel, and they're really like Legos where if you have the funds to spend $6,500 now, you can have a configuration for layout 2, and then even with just skate park layout 2, you can switch it around so that the kids, every time they come to the park, they feel like they're at a different park. And then later, if your city has more funding for it, you can buy 1 panel more or 2 more panels or another grind rail, and you can sort of connect together like Legos and just create parks. You can make half pipes later on. So kids really love our products in that way that they can voice their ideas to the park supervisor to see they can change it up this way or that way and how they would like to ride it. Not to mention that they can ride skateboards on it, BMX. Kids are really into one wheels these days, and our ramps are rated for all of those.
So what did you say the age kind of range was on these again?
So the age limit is, there's no age limit. It's intended for all groups and ages, but for specifically for 13 and under, we adhere to ASTM global standards. I can send you the standards later on, but yeah, our dimensions meet their specifications so that it significantly reduces chance of brain injury.
And I'm not familiar with this, Paul, but we can get railings
Mhm.
for the other ones too, correct? The one that they didn't show a railing on them, but we can fasten railings to those.
Yes, you can fasten railings to the ramps and to the park itself.
Okay.
So where would you put ramps on this layout, or rails? On the flat?
On the back of those, it kind of like what's out there now, you know, the ones that you go up on, they have a back to them. And I think maybe even the sides a little bit. So you want to go right over the back of it and off. Does that make
Yes.
sense?
So, are you guys planning to keep all of the stuff that we're on? Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over anybody.
Up along there, yep. And then I think, nothing was on these here, right? No, just on them, yep. My question is, what was my question? Oh, you said we could switch them around, you know, after a month or something, but these are anchored down into the cement, right? So every time we move.
Yeah, so if you want to lock them down to the park, you can, install anchor bolts to the concrete and then use tamper-proof nuts to secure them for permanent fixing.
Otherwise, they're free to move around. They're heavy enough to.
Yeah, otherwise they're free to move around. That's right. So.
Otherwise, really.
So they're high enough of a launch ramp for some fun speed? Or is it too short?
Yes, sir. So you can have our launch ramps are 19 inches. Our quarter pipes could be 3 foot. It could be 4 foot. So it's as who's the audience, who's riding that weekend, or if you guys are looking for a permanently fixed layout, then you can have some 3 foot and then some 4 foot if you're really looking to catch some speed.
I would say 4 foot is what probably.
Yes, and 4 foot is still great, and it meets the ASTM standards still.
Any knowledge about winter durability?
Durability, they're really durable. Mike originally reached out to us because he was looking for low maintenance, because anything that's built out of wood and concrete and metal, they're really going to require a high maintenance. Our ramps, like everything, they do require maintenance, but not as much as like wood fixtures or like metal that you need constantly have to have it protected. Wood rots real easy. You build a park with wood, and I don't know, 5 or 10 years later down the line, you have to maybe throw it away or maintain it like every week or every month. So that in that sense, yeah.
So what I was thinking with this, Mike, was that in the wintertime, we would take this down anyway, yeah. Well, I was just looking at how it would fold up. You got it showed there, fold up to a 7x3 area, that was with that layout number 2. But I think in the wintertime, we've got the ability to do that. That's just what we would do.
I think that's a good idea just because of winter in Minnesota in general, but
We could use that other concrete pad for another ice skate rink too.
Which concrete pad?
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
ramp is
Like for just skating, not hockey.
No.
These platforms on the ramps, are they the size of ours? Do we know?
Paul, I'd have to measure them, but I sent Paul pictures of what we had. I guess I don't know what those dimensions are like on top, Paul.
Mm-hmm. I looked them up through the Google Maps as well through the satellite view, and I got a pretty good idea of the dimensions of the available space.
So is it pretty comparable, the size, the width of everything, I guess is what Fred's asking?
Yes. So the layout 2 has a park dimension, as it's set up, has a park dimension of 45 by 15 feet. But depending on how you decide to set the park up, you're gonna, those dimensions are gonna change, shrink or expand as you need to. And then, like you guys mentioned, you want to put it away during the winter, so maybe you can use that space for ice skating or something like that. You can have it permanently fixed during the summer, and then just remove. I would say semi-permanent, because as soon as you cut the anchor bolts off, you can fold it and stow it away, and then you can fill that. You can drill another hole in the concrete for another anchor bolt as the seasons come up, and it's not really difficult to fill in that space if you even want to do that.
This is, for tonight, it's just information, but
I would like to make sure these are the same size as what we've got. And if they aren't, update the price, but I'd like to see a price on, with rails on there and shipping all, so we
like
know,
a total
so we know
for
what the
everything.
total thing is for this layout here.
Okay, that sounds great. And then I'll attach 2 invoices, one with the lockdown kit from us, and then one without the lockdown kit from us, and we'll provide all the parts that you need, and then you guys can kind of compare. Or would you guys just like me to send you an updated invoice with the shipping, the lockdown kit, and also with the rails as well?
yeah, I think that's what he's looking for, Paul.
Okay.
I think we should measure
The actual dimensions of those pieces, Paul, and would you say the height was anywhere from 3 to 4 feet?
Yes. So the quarter pipe you're looking at now, it's 3 foot high.
3 foot high. And then do you know
Yes,
what
sir.
the dimensions of that are? Like that top piece?
So if we're looking at the same rendering, the quarter pipe that we see closest to us, that's 8 foot wide and 3 foot high.
And how,
So it says fresh.
how long is that?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How deep is that, Paul?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be about 6 to 7 feet. And then when I send you the next email, I'll be sure to include the exact dimensions of them.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yes, sir.
well, you've got these all over in municipalities, right? And
Who are the users, Paul? Who, you sell them to a lot of cities and private stuff
Yes.
too?
So we, cities, parks and recs, locally, businesses. We do international sales. We just shipped twice to Spain last month. So it's big, Boys and Girl Scouts clubs. Any people that would like any groups or people that would like a safe, portable, durable, and weather-resistant rails and ramps that require very little maintenance.
Can we tack on one more grind rail?
another what?
Just one more grind rail in that empty spot? I mean, we can move it around, but
Yeah.
just another feature we can have.
Because this doesn't include a grind rail at all.
This has
We
one.
have one out here.
Oh, we could use our old one.
We've got one out here.
Never mind.
The grind rail isn't included in the price, right?
That's correct. The one that's rendered on there, yes.
There is one on there.
Yeah.
So we can maybe remove that. We'll think about that because we have one out there, Paul.
And then we could move it in that other
Sure.
space here.
Sure thing. Yeah, they're customizable. So whatever you need to take off or put in, yeah, we'll definitely make that happen.
And then Fred's got one more request that you probably have to fly back here and help install it.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
Like this one in Minnesota here.
Oh, geez. Yeah, maybe.
What's lead time on this? Did you get that?
No, I didn't catch the last part. What was it? Or was it addressed to me?
I thought we scared you right out of here from coming up here in Minnesota.
Oh,
Order, to the time you order to the time you ship.
He's looking for lead time on that, Paul.
well, if we place the order today or this week, we have everything in stock and ready to ship. But I know these things they have a process and it takes time. So if we ordered in March, I can guarantee that we'll ship it within the first 7 days. And in April, it might have a couple or 3 weeks turnaround time. What was the kind of general time frame you guys are looking to order?
I would think if you get, if it's something that the board wants to do, you get the prices to us, we would probably act on it next month at the first
Okay.
Monday of April.
That sounds great. Yeah, first Monday of April, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to. The turnaround time would be a week or less.
Oh, yeah. Get that, all that other stuff to it, we'll probably decide what we want, because something needs to be done there, so we'll probably decide at our next meeting which route we want to go.
Okay. Yep. I'm here for, call. Go ahead. Sorry.
Do you have a slanted grind rail, one that slopes downward?
Are you talking about the rainbow rail? We have something called the ultimate grind rail that has like a rainbow arc grind rail.
It goes like this. Here, looks like this. I got it pulled up. Hold up.
Right there.
Like that?
There's a ton of
Well,
options.
Well, throw that on a separate. add-on.
350.
350.
350.
Yeah, and all of the grind rails are lockdown capability as well. So you guys need to lock it down, then we can definitely make that happen.
Well, I say add that into the estimate that you're getting, we can always,
Just, yeah.
just as long as it got the price on everything.
And I guess, just for you guys, I think what I like about that is we got room, I think we'd have room to grow that, we can buy a piece here or a piece there. I mean, it's not like, I think it would.
It's not like a set in stone thing, like we can move it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rent it out to the veterans?
Yeah, I ain't gonna have too many, I want to do the grind rail.
Okay.
Do you have any of these in Minnesota at all?
Do I have any of the what at all? Sorry.
Your product in Minnesota at all?
In Minnesota, I can look through our databases and then depending on, I'll look what city has it closest to Zimbrota. Am I pronouncing that right?
Rochester?
Rochester.
Or the Twin Cities.
Or
Yeah.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, St. Paul.
St. Paul.
Chicago weather would be the climate?
We,
Oh, I was thinking about, you're asking about climate.
We're just wondering if you guys want to send Fred and I out there to check things out.
I'll bring you a helmet.
No, I mean, fly us out to California.
Oh,
Okay. Any other questions for Paul there?
No, thank you for all that information. I really appreciate it, and the park board really appreciates this time.
You
Yeah,
are
thanks.
very, very welcome, and thank you for the opportunity to speak with you guys today.
Yep, that's great.
Appreciate you, what you're doing here, and then, you get Mike that updated stuff, and we'll decide something next month.
That sounds perfect. I'll get in touch with Mike as soon as I can. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yep, goodbye.
Well done, Mr. Olson.
Yeah.
Really cool product.
I think that'll be
I like how you can just like fold it up and put it away and then just bring it back
for
up.
the
Well,
winter. Oh, man.
because in the past, we bought cable, we had to cable all that stuff out there during
Oh.
floods. So, if we knew a flood was coming, we could pack it up and
Pack it
just
up
get
and,
it out of there.
well,
instead of-
that's kind of what I was thinking too.
Because even with the cables, we had to move its stuff back in place. It just didn't go all the way down the river.
So this safety there, we can't freeze, it can't sit there freestanding, and then it's just not, it's, anybody can come and fold it up then and take it, right?
Right. I would rather, and even by fastening it, we can do some, I don't know, depending on how we fastened it, we can do some cement plugs. If we wanted to switch it up, move it around, we could do cement plugs in there, plug them up and move them someplace,
I totally like that. I think we don't put no more money, even if it gets to be twice as much.
cost wise.
Right.
I think we were upwards close to $25,000 in plywood, and that didn't include any of that green treated that's underneath it. A lot of that's going to be rotted yet, that stuff was expensive.
Right.
And
Huh, we should use the old stuff as like a training center though, or use it to make.
For the fire department?
Oh, did you see the fire discount?
What?
There's a fire law and military discount. Should we have the fire department buy it for us?
Well, Tony was here for the presentation. He can.
so the other thing is, what I did mention to Fred was I didn't realize how bad that old one is out there. It just kind of got turned over to us last year from Jim. He'd raised all the funds. There was a pop can recycling wagon up there. It was kind of a donated project to the parks at the time, but there's still some money in that skate park fund for some of this, which is nice. But it kind of got turned over to us, and I didn't realize how bad of shape that was in. And I told Fred I just soon shut it down this spring because.
Like last summer at it, the way that stuff it layered off of there, so it's like real sharp edges on there. So
I think we could sell the community or the skate park community on it if they knew we were moving forward and had plans in place to get something in there fairly soon.
well, like you said, if we get it ordered in first week in April, it'd be here,
Right.
and then there won't even be any downtime.
You guys skate?
No. I can barely roller skate, let alone skate on anything else.
Skate or die.
So the next question is, do I need to find something that's comparable to bring back to?
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. He's a one of a kind deal.
Back to this wood and concrete.
Well, we know.
They've been
Well,
around
and
20
I
years.
think you've kind of brought that forth by not being able to bring that forth, in my opinion, because you haven't really been able to.
But I would like to hopefully that he finds, well, it doesn't matter how close it is, just get some names from him, whether they're far away. Just a couple phone calls would just.
We'll probably have to go online. He wasn't willing to share that with me. I tried that before, but that's fine. I think there was enough information online where I could find somebody to talk to.
There was really good reviews on Amazon. They have like a whole store on Amazon, so you can kind of see their product like in full color, like out in like the real world.
Yeah, if you get a chance, I just thought, that was just kind of a touch of everything there, but they were really easy to search up and find all their stuff on, so if you want to Google them sometime. To me, it looks like if it's durable, obviously if you can skate on it without fastening it down, there must be.
I just want to make sure our platforms and stuff that the new that we get, because they're so used to that. I'd hate to go from 4 foot to 3 foot high,
Yeah.
And,
You want to at
and-
least keep it as high as it
Is,
is.
or maybe even higher.
right.
Comparable.
Yeah.
We gotta be, we're.
Nothing less than what we have.
Right.
We're gonna be in the ballpark.
I think it's really cool because you can change the setup of it and add to it. You want to add one thing a year? Fine. You can.
Yeah, it didn't sound like it was, I mean, even that, I mean, when you look at prices, I would think, somewhere around $2,000, $2,500 for some of that. $350 didn't sound like a whole lot for that.
Yeah.
I mean, the prices don't seem exorbitant to me.
And what's the estimate for the layout number 2? Is it the 4911?
42, was it 49?
$4,911.
Yeah, and he said that was without shipping and
Right. With
something else.
the fastener system to it.
There you go.
And railing, I don't think that one included any railings, but.
So that railing and that stuff, it'll.
Still, when you look at what it cost us to fix, just to go through and fix the old one,
Complain and they can.
Move that out.
jerk it out of there. Yep.
Okay,
So I put the baskets on min bid. They didn't bring the minimum of 1,800 that you guys had requested. So now we're kind of back to the drawing board, whatever you guys want to do with it. But I had an inquiry from, I think it was St. Peter. That gentleman called me back and said he wasn't interested. They weren't interested in him. So we just kind of got to make a decision. You guys have to make a decision what you want to do. I think I can put them back on, well, I know I can put them back on min bid, but I don't. They brought $1,200 on min bid. But I can't guarantee that they'll bring $1,200 this time either, That's.
as long as it's another city, I think you were saying.
Well, I mean, I can put on min bid. We could do it if I found another city that was interested. We can do transaction government to government with another city, and I can put them back on min bid, but that kind of lies a problem when you put them back on there, I'm afraid. They already, especially if you, especially if you take the reserve back off them, then they kind of know you're willing to take whatever.
Do you know where in Red Wing they were interested in it, or?
I don't know where that bid came from.
No, but I mean. He wanted them because Red Wing, wasn't Red Wing looking, I mean, that first guy that was dealing with Mike.
I don't know where he.
I think he said that those people were not
They were
interested because they had to do the min bid thing. But I don't know if, now that they didn't have to do the min bid thing, if they'd be interested.
Right.
You still have to do the min bid. Oh, you either have to do min bid or sell government to government.
Unless if I'm not remembering right, and that was just him that didn't want to do the min bid when he wanted to buy them. I could be remembering it that way.
We're not good with 1,200.
No, I'd say we have to let them go. Yeah, I don't think we shoot for that 1,800. We tried that once and they're probably not gonna get it. If I'd have known all this, then I would have said, whatever we get.
Right.
I think the deal was back then, it was Mike who said, he could get, didn't he say he could get 1,800 for it? So that's kind of where I think you guys landed on the reserve of 1,800.
So this min bid, they'll let you know who bid on it so you can contact them and.
No.
But if you put them back on min bid, maybe they would bid on them again if you put the reserve at 1,200.
I'm sure they would, but when you take the reserve off it now is where I think,
Or could you just change the reserve to 1,200?
yeah, and then, you're chasing a tail.
I know.
But if you take the reserve off, then they know you're willing to kind of dump them and get rid of it. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go around the houses up want to put on mid-bid, I will collect neighbors' recommendations.
That'd be cool.
Or I'll let the golf courses sell.
I'm sure they would appreciate that.
So is that what you need to add to theirs?
They have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they do.
At this point, we take a big hit on it, it's par for the course for these goofy baskets. I'd say get rid of them and get them out of here.
Yeah,
You know,
Put them back on mid bid.
I feel like this has just been.
We'll take a vote on that. We should vote on that, put them to.
so we probably should have a motion then on put it on mint bid without a reserve, if that's what you're thinking. Maybe. You know, we can probably get, who knows, anywhere from 600 to 1,200, you know, but it's a done deal.
I would like to have some reserve, but I don't know the game. I don't really want to play the game, but yes, I would put,
Or you could put
Reserve
a,
on them, so you can put whatever you wanted.
Or could you put just a lower reserve? Like, what do we have to get? Like, do we want to at least get $1,000 out of it?
you know,
Because that's scary. Otherwise, somebody's going to go out there, put $1, and then they get them
that's
for
all-
$1.
Yeah,
what was it, 950 or something back on the invoice?
do it.
Months ago, I think there was like 950 on the invoice for what we would get. I don't know if that was what Mike was gonna give us or.
Why don't you just put 1,200? Is that what they got?
Give us 200 bucks.
So I think it was the 1,800 is where that 1,800 came from.
oh, because it was 200 apiece.
Yeah.
I make a motion to put the disc golf baskets back on min bid with a reserve of $950.
950?
Because that's where I put it. You don't have to second it. We can raise it.
No, I think, at this point, it's just, we're waiting to get rid of them, right? Like, we're moving on from this, we're getting the new baskets and,
With the
We have them.
baskets already installed.
yeah, so. I think that's fair.
It's either that or we could make something out of them or keep them around to make something out of them. So for a future part.
For $1,000 bucks, Mike, you can put 9 of them in your backyard.
I'm thinking about Highlands, you know, like we just load it up there, but more so.
Okay, so we have a
I'll second.
motion on the floor
Mhm.
to put it on, what'd you say, min bid for $950 reserve?
Yes,
All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And we were gonna talk to Troy a little bit about that disc golf. I mean, we gotta figure out, we were gonna go sell some advertising for these things.
Right.
And that surely could be getting done this winter, going around if, I don't know what he had in mind there. And the more I think about, you know, we were waiting to have this guy from the cities come down
Mhm.
and he was gonna charge us to come and just give us an idea. Well, I've got 2 other gentlemen that approached me when this was all happening, live right in town here, that play this course all the time. So my thought, I mean, back when these guys were talking, they wanted to get it to, you know, have tournaments and stuff, and I don't know, I personally don't really think, I mean, it gets used a lot just the way it is, you know. I think there's some fine tuning that needs to be done,
Mhm.
but I was gonna reach out to these other 2 guys in town and just have them walk through it with us too in the spring and just see what we
It's not
can.
the same 2 guys that came to
Nope,
pitch this.
No.
Different guys.
these other 2 guys live in town here and they graduated with Jake. They graduates of town here. And they came to me about the same time and said, hey, would you guys ever think about doing 18 holes about the time? And these 2 are already here. So that's just a thought. I was gonna, you know, see if they, you know, because then we can set up the tee offs ourselves and do all that ourselves.
So Fred and I were out there one day and I think that's a good idea because I think it's the actual golfers, or the disc golfers, whoever that play it. We talked to a couple people out there as they were playing through and they got their ideas and a lot of input, and I think they had some good ideas. And if you get it set up, whether you have so-and-so design it or whoever designed it, I mean, they'll hold their own tournaments anyway, you know. That will make a difference on the tournaments.
And I don't know if it's too important to be sanctioned and all that stuff. I don't think we really care to get, I mean, it's for recreation. Anybody can go out there and. So, but anyway, I'm gonna reach out to them anyway to see if they'd be willing to walk through it with us and, because that other guy he wasn't gonna come down until we got a hold of him, but.
Keep going. Fred.
Okay,
You got your support.
all right, 6C, campground update. I think the
Grant wasn't in.
The grant is due on I think we still have time. They were gonna go through it now. 31st, I think, was the deadline. From
Okay,
my understanding, and they were gonna go through it quick and if there was anything that jumped out at them, they would send it back to us. But we've got,
that's something, once he got it back from then, he was gonna try and send it out to all of us.
we got pretty much all the information we need. Price, the plans kind of changed a little bit again. We're looking at just 9 sites plus 1 for the camp host, so we'd have 10 total. That brought and use the existing park road for pulling campers on and off, and that brought the price down quite a bit. Our total, I can't remember what it.
Money by using that road that's there to back in. And you see it there, then they're all facing the river. And what I like about that too, is it does hold it away from the residents, you know,
Oh, so instead of doing like both sides?
instead of.
Is that what we had originally, right?
We had another road going up.
We were gonna do another road here and then put like 5
More
this
over
way
here.
and
Yep.
5 this way.
Yep, okay.
We looked at this here and we'd save the road, you know, just a.
So, and the only difference, a little bit of the difference is that, so that total cost of 110,198 does not include a $56,000 price from Schumacher's for sewer and water, because that could not be included in the grant. So everything else on the back of that memo I had, I've got that listed out from electrical, masonry, plumbing, grading. The grading and for the pads in the driveway of the bathroom, all that can be. It was just the sewer and water that was installed into the campground couldn't be. And then the roof for the bathhouse and interior ceiling for it.
So if this grant goes through, we're gonna vote. I.
What's
We're
that?
gonna get the grant to follow through this time. We're ready to commit to the campground investment, just like last year.
And wait and see, you know, if, my thought on that then is that shower houses, if the grant doesn't go through, can we do it again? Or if it's pretty much the second time?
No, you can apply for it again. The grant, right? Is that what you're
If
asking?
the grant goes in, we got to put a, if the grant doesn't pass, I would like to see us look into maybe doing the shower house anyway this year, because we'd have the money
Yeah.
for that. But we'll just keep that in mind, just to, that way the campers that are there would still be able to use a new shower house. Because even if the sites don't go in, we got to put a new shower house in anyway, if it's there. And that first shower house that they sent in was a lot bigger than what we needed, so we got the sizes down to what has to be the size for what we got for campers. Because last time when they sent the grant, it was, what was the last, this one's 24 by 24, isn't
The
it?
last one was, at least there was 2 showers in each, the men and the women's side, and 2 two showers and 2 toilets and 2 lavatories. What the Department of Health requires is for the number of tent sites that you have available, that's all that counts towards the bathhouse, what you need for facilities and that. So we don't have that many tent sites. Really what we have out there now is all we need, that size.
RV's got their back.
Correct. And they probably got a lot better facilities than we can furnish them.
Okay. Any other discussion on
I
that?
was just gonna say, you mean the permanent campers, but I didn't want to go down that road. Oh, sorry, it's been a long day.
Okay, move on to continue park encroachments discussion.
Brian has he's got a memo in there. So we've been working with the residents on their encroachments. We met with Kurt and Liz Ganrud, and they have that shed that's about 17-foot encroachment. The shed was built in 1998 by the previous owner.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So what we got is the encroachment agreement with them. And the only thing that they wanted, and I think was a change to that, was they wanted to be able to go in and just do general maintenance around their shed, on their shed, within, which, makes complete sense. And I think, and really, the way the encroachments have worked out is this is probably the only exception to all the encroachments we have out there, because they, not that it diminishes what their responsibilities is, but they did buy the place with the shed on it already. Everybody else they've kind of put their, they built their sheds, built their fences on park property themselves. I think that's the way we were looking at the encroachments.
And then there's a few, 4 of them that we got met with, like we sent letters out to them.
Yeah, sounds like it.
We sent a second round of letters out, asking them to meet with us.
We do need you to sign one more, though. That's on my desk.
Notice this on here, we don't have anything on here about talking about this swimming pool update. We've been talking, well, can I talk about it?
Yeah, I'm not gonna shut you down at all.
Here's what I was thinking on this, they keep wanting to see, what projects they want to do.
Yep.
And I know isn't there a work session coming up in April here?
March, yeah, this week. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, but anyway, my thought on that is I'd like to go to that and just kind of, I don't know what word I should use, spell it out and just, I guess this is what I would like to approach them with. That one, to find out if the city council wants a swimming pool in town. And 2, to give us an approval to put a referendum out there for $2 million. And because the pool has always been put on the back burner, when the project comes up, to me, it's like, okay, I'd like, because we gotta get going on this, because if this pool doesn't, we won't know until we fire this baby up. It could be shut down this year.
Right.
And my thought on that is like, I think they just got to decide, if they want to give us $2 million on a referendum to vote on, and then they can, not mean, or worry about them other projects with what they got left. You know, that way we don't get, because we don't have time anymore to be just delaying this. We have to know, because if they give us a $2 million referendum, but that's got to be approved by the city, we still have to raise $2 to $2.5 million.
Right.
And we got to get going on this.
So, that was 2 years ago, we dumped 100,000 into it, saying that it would maybe give us 3 years, right?
Yep.
So I think it's good that you go to there, but I mean, so like Kevin's kind of new to this too, you know, that's kind of, to be honest with you, it's been a long road with the pool. We had a whole pool committee put together at one time, and then that ended up going nowhere. So there was a lot of people that weren't happy about that invested a lot of time in it.
And then, I mean, being fair to you, I mean, I'd like to, because I've been
But the
here
same,
5 years from when
right.
when I originally had the work session.
And then the paperwork that comes back, they've been working on that pool 20 plus years now. They had problems with the baby pool. That finally got shut down a couple of years ago. But I mean, that's how long, I mean, it's a pretty big track record going on with it, you know? And then it was a school referendum. Well, we can't have a referendum when the school, well, when is the school not going to have a referendum?
Like, I would like to go there and just, you know, because that was my very first meeting, was a work session with the council back when I got on 5 years ago. And we
Go home.
and that's exactly what they said.
That's
I
what,
said,
that's
do you
what the
want us to
mayor
do?
said at the time.
The mayor said, go big or go home. And I wish when he said that, he would have told me they were looking at this Highway 52 project, because at that time they said, well, some of the members said, well, we got a school referendum. And I had to look back on the past minutes for the last 12 years. And that has happened like 2 or 3 times. Well, we don't want to do it now because there's a school referendum. And it's like, you're always going to have something. But we're at a point, it's either they want to
Either
pull
we're
or they
gonna do it,
don't.
or- yeah,
or
It's
we-
getting to that point where,
we need to do it.
do you want to have a functioning pool, a safe functioning pool for the children or
Well-
for everybody, you know, because I'm sure everybody uses that too, you
And
know?
then I don't know how serious, and since then, I mean, you're new, Bob Priggy's new. Joan is new, you know, that's what happens with this, is that you get new people and then all of a sudden we start over again. But that's what I would like to do, if anybody else wants to come along with me or whatever, but I would like to bring it that way to them, and just like, because, well, I won't be on, I mean, they put $100,000 into it for 3 years. I mean, I'm not gonna be on, but I would no way vote to put another dime in that pool
Unless it's brand new.
unless it's brand new.
Well, and part of the problem is, and I think everybody, you know, the pool's one thing, the vessel itself, and, you know, we took the diving boards out, they were not good, and we put that rock climbing wall in. But then you start looking at the bathhouse, even the pump house. I mean, those buildings have served their time, and,
already up there that we can't use.
right,
You know,
and I
it's just-
can't,
it's
yeah.
just-
So
I don't
if
know.
we lose another bathroom up front, then I don't know what we do, then we punt again. But yeah, the traps themselves, they're old cast iron traps, they're rotted out, there's nothing left of them even. I mean, without doing a major renovation to that bathhouse, best I can do is close it and use that one bathroom as a unisex bathroom up front for now.
And I'm not too sure that, you know, we put that handicap lift in and stuff. Can we get wheelchairs through the shower house?
Yeah, well.
Well, I mean, I know there's some
The
narrow.
way it has to be done, we stuck some money into redoing those walls going into the shower houses, and then we revamped the front counter. So that's where
You would use the bathroom up front and then just come straight through instead of going through.
well, you'd use the shower room, but then come back out of the shower room and then go where the guards sit.
Yeah.
We don't know, you know, Mike's got his name on there, and we brought this up with the last administration, that if we have an outbreak of where the chemicals don't work, they can come after Mike too, because his name's on that. And aren't you talking about,
Yeah.
you know,
I want her to sit in jail with me.
Yeah. Buddies.
and I know Mike brought that up to the last minister, and he said, no way, there's no way they can do that. Well, he checked with the League of Minnesota Cities, and
Yeah.
they can, so.
I don't know why anybody would want to have their name on that CPO in a pool like that, to be honest with you. I'm crazy.
So anyway.
Ann was looking at you like, well, I'm
Paying for the
crazy
class
too.
tonight?
You're not selling it, Mike.
If you guys are okay with that, I'd like to approach the city council with that.
I mean, as somebody who's out there and is responsible for the guards and everything too, there's a lot of stuff that it's just an old pool.
Mhm.
Like Mike said, it's served its purpose and it's time. And if we put $100,000 in for 3 years, I think we're lucky if we get 3 years out of that. And that's the end of this.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, every time you turn and look at a court, I mean, your whole, that going in the girls' shower from outside there, that one whole wall's got a, I mean, and that's block wall. I mean, you can see where the waters run underneath it. It's eating holes in the concrete. It's just, I mean, it is old. I
when
mean,
the gentleman sandblasted it and painted it, he would not guarantee that it was gonna last 3 years, and I know why, because it's already peeling, so.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that's,
and then your decking, that whole decking system out there is just, there's so many trip hazards through that. I mean,
and realistically, we shouldn't have to sell it that bad, that it's that bad. I mean, it's just bad. You know.
well,
It's
it's
52
50.
years,
Yeah.
54 now, I think.
54
From the
years
last time.
old. Josh would tell you from Burbox there that your new pools last 50 years, you know? So you think about that, building an old pool like that, they did pretty well to keep it running this long. Now a new pool, they expect 50 years out of it, and the advancements in the concrete even, but all the other upgrades that they have for new pools. So I'd say we did very well with that old pool.
Your new business, or it doesn't matter.
I just came to tell you that I was going to sign up to get my CPO license here this week. So
Good luck.
Mike's really selling it for
Now
me.
she's really considering if she should do that or not.
I haven't clicked
Well,
send
you're as
yet.
crazy as I am, so.
I know.
Well, the nice thing about it, I mean, if you do that, that would be great, but I think you just need to be, I mean, I would rather see it there, because Mike's under a lot of pressure too from other level, you know, to you to come to the park board and said, you know what, we need to shut her down, because I can't keep the chemicals,
Right.
you know.
We had a pool manager that had this before. Did Tammy have it?
I think.
So if you're still gonna go forward with that,
Right.
I
No,
would encourage you too, that
Yeah.
if between you and Mike.
no, I plan to. It's better to have two of us that can.
Go
Yeah.
to jail.
but
Go to jail
between
together.
the two
I'll
of
come bail you out.
you,
I know some people.
you can come to us and say, I do not feel comfortable. I mean, we've said that many times, Mike has said that many times, but it still doesn't change anything.
And the baby pool was not even the big pool gets, you just don't, I mean, we had so much problem last year too. I mean, it's a constant babysitting that thing, but the baby pool was absolutely, I mean, and boy, when you mentioned the word shutting the baby pool down, but you can't run it when you can't keep chemicals. I mean,
And then put little babies in
and
it.
then put little,
So you'll still have that same license though? Or you have that for on the city
well,
anyway?
as soon as she gets it, I'm tearing mine up. No.
So much for going
Mine's-
down together.
They're good for 5 years. I think I don't know when. Mine's due.
For jail cell buddies.
Thought I was sitting between
So
you.
you're still gonna do it?
Oh, she's got to sit.
Yeah, I'm still gonna do it.
But that would, I highly encourage you though, through the summer here. If you see red flags at all, that,
Like I said, I'm not going to jail for it, so yeah.
no, that's what I mean.
Honestly.
That's why I'm encouraging you, yep.
Yep.
We have to put a,
And
I put out, the other thing I was just gonna mention is that I put out the ad for lifeguards. sent it to all the old guards, just waiting to get some responses back so I can kind of plan stuff.
Mhm.
'Cause I can't plan lessons until I know if I have people to work them.
Where are we at on our wages on that? I seen, what town put theirs out already? Pine Island in the paper, or was it Wanamingo or Goodyear?
Wanamingo might have, because I seen Wanamingo was advertising for guards.
One of them had it in there,
Wanamingo probably,
I did not see that.
11 something.
was it?
I have it on here in a second. That was the first comment that I got from someone. Ann, can you get it so we get paid more? And I said, well,
That's what's happening everywhere. If
Yeah.
you want to get somebody, you got to pay more.
Yeah.
You know?
Kids can go to Menards or anywhere really.
and they don't have to go get
You know,
trained.
they say that though, but if you were a lifeguard, they're not going to be happy at Menards.
Well,
Oh, but if you-
I know what you're saying.
Depending on, $15, $16 an hour compared to, for the responsibility that.
Yeah.
And the
just-
training, they don't,
and the training.
they can walk into somewhere else without doing a
No,
$350.
totally
I
agree
did
with
that. I
you.
bounced
But it's-
one pool to a different town because they were paying $1.50 more an hour. And I was doing the same thing.
So we have, I wish I could just share it with you guys, but right now, as of last year, as just a guard with no WSI, so no safety instructor, they started at $10.50. And if you had your WSI, so you could teach lessons, it was $11 an hour. And then it goes up a quarter for every year that you've been there.
I think there should be a little bigger separation than 50 cents between the WSI and the
Guard.
guard.
I remember what it
Alright,
was when because I got my WSI at one point, but I can't remember how much more I got paid. I can't remember if it was $1 or $1.50, but it was only during lessons too.
This is like they get paid at that's their rate.
Just all around.
And then there's a head guard on every shift and that
Yes.
person gets
Yep.
paid $1 more.
So I know Mike at the last meeting, you weren't here, and so, or somebody was gonna talk to the other swimming pool people to try and get on so we're not battling for all,
Co-op.
if we could just all pay the same, maybe some could work here and some there, and I don't know. But I look at,
I wonder if the Wanamingo, do you think it was Wanamingo?
I'm pretty sure it was Wanamingo.
so we're kind of low then on our wages then. But what, did you see what Wanamingo came out with?
But I don't
Look for
know.
the shop or it wasn't back there, so.
It was 11 something, so it was like 11.75 or something.
I mean, I can ask the kids, because some of them I think are going to like the rack in Rochester. I'm not saying we have to pay what they pay, but if you pay, they've got to be paying enough more where it's worth it for them to drive. So you don't have to pay that, pay less,
I
but
think it was $15 or $16 that the rec was paying, and they get a free membership.
let's see here.
Yeah, I mean, we're paying our summer, right, Mike? I mean, the summer mowing guys they're getting $15 an hour and don't have the responsibility that these people have.
So the other thing we'll do, what I started doing when I got here, we do an annual training with all the guards. That'll be coming up again too. We do that through our MMUA safety coordinator. And he'll do that for us. That's always just a good refresher among all the other training that they do. It's just kind of your basic first aid and bloodborne pathogens and what happens when everybody poops in the pool. And
Scream and panic.
I mean, to me, that doesn't seem like a lot, 1050 with no WSI and 11 for WSI. I mean,
50 cents
it
difference
just
in there.
doesn't seem like a lot. To me, I
Yeah.
would think we could,
I want
I
to
mean, if
say
you're not
that,
gonna have that big a gap, you must pay all the same.
I wish I could remember what mine was, because I know I took a jump. I want to say it was 75 cents or $1 an hour, but I don't know if that was just, right.
To have a
But I can't
WSI.
remember if that was, yeah, and I can't remember if that was only when I was teaching lessons, but Ann said that they get that all the time, which I think is worth it to have it all the time anyways, because it's just extra training.
Well, then maybe
But-
the thing to do is call around these other towns and just see,
I can do that.
we can check that way again too, and just, you know,
So do we want somebody to make a motion to adjust the wages? I mean, give it between the staff and then,
Or do we want to,
because we gotta go through,
I mean, I can bring them back to you.
you'd
well,
have time.
but you're already got something out there.
Yeah, but I can just say this is what they were last year. They're looking at, they're reviewing them in the beginning of April, which is still 2 months before the pool would open. And just say,
What do you think? I mean, I got a couple numbers in my mind right now for the WSI and the non.
I mean, I think that when I see some of the ones in the middle, I don't necessarily feel are super unfair, but when you look at like year one guard, 1050, like they can go anywhere and make way more than that.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, what you gave us, a 1-year guard, and then it gets adjusted by that.
But then I also look at like year 8. I mean, I'll have some guards that if they come back this year, they'll be at year 6. So they've been there 6 years and they have their WSI and they're at 1225. Like, I mean, I know it's just a summer, but it's still a commitment over a long, you know.
right?
But normally, but they can go and get a summer job for $14 to $15 an hour. And I'm not saying that's the number we use, but I'm just saying that we gotta make it a little more attractive to them.
Right, and it's hard because you want to pay what's going to be feasible to pay them. You know, you have to be fiscally responsible in that way, but you also don't want to not have them. Because then it doesn't matter if the pool works anyway, so.
Well, and weirdly enough, this is just me because of what I do with my life, but weirdly enough, I compare lifeguarding a lot to working as a correctional officer because you do a lot of the same things, which I never thought would be 2 comparable jobs in my entire life. But just like, I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, man, it really is, because you're being aware of what's going on. You need to react to situations that, you know, you need to make a split decision second, like for anything, you know? And it's like being a prison guard kind of, which is kind of weird. I never would have thought of it that way, but
Let's be honest too, it's kind of like being a babysitter. And would you
Yeah.
babysit 30 kids for $10 an hour?
yeah.
Probably
No.
not.
I have 16 at work and I don't get paid enough for them, and I'm get like 23 an hour. So there's that.
We started 1150 and 11, and what do we say we raise it up for every year?
A quarter every year.
Right now it's 1050 year 1, 11 with the WSI, and it goes up if you're just a guard by a quarter every year that you've been there. And then same with WSI, it goes up by a quarter every year that you've been there.
A quarter.
Yep.
So a quarter is the raise,
We
yeah.
have some that are gonna be
6 years.
6 years, and they're gonna be at,
I have some that if they come back, they'll be at year 5, year 6.
You said 1225 was year 6, right?
If you have your WSI.
And to be honest with you, that those that are, you know, that 5 or 6 year coming back, that'll probably be about the end of it too.
right.
Right.
That'll probably be about it, out the end of it with some of those that come back year 5. I think back in the years that,
That out by, if we get these 2 raised to where they should be on the first year, and then we'll add a quarter for the 6-year ones, and that'll get them up there too then.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'll reach out to the different cities and ask for their,
Yeah.
okay. And I'll get my CPO license done.
you get paid extra for that too, you know.
I'm sure. Quarter an
Oh,
hour.
jail time.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
I think we've got to,
Lake City,
we gotta adjust that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll ask Lake City, Goodhue, Pine Island, Onemingo, Canyon,
Mhm.
Check in, folks.
Cannon Falls.
Neil won't give you nothing up
You
there.
could even what's the population of Chatfield? I know they're not our neighbors, but.
It's gotta be
Is it
pretty comparable, I would
Maybe
think,
reach
to
out
us.
Chatfield too, being that they have their nice new pool. Just see what they pay their
Their
guards,
fancy pool.
the one we want.
Yeah.
We could have that for 3.5 million.
Yeah, that's all I had. Sorry, I didn't have a lot, but didn't do a lot.
Okay, well, that'd be good if we could do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I've offered this before, but this spring when we're starting to open it up, and that's, and I'll offer that to all the council people, but come out and take a look at it if you guys want. You know, if you've never been out there before, come on, I know Fred's been out there a few times, but every year it changes a little.
Well, and then encourage the council to take an afternoon and go walk through it with you.
Give me a call anytime and
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to walk through anything with them too. Chatfield.
the other thing that I still have a lot of problems with, and this is kind of off the subject, but is those umbrellas out there.
They need to be replaced, you mean?
Well, I replace the guts of them and the cable, and sometimes twice a year, and it's about $325 a pop. The problem is they get over cranked, and I can't stop it from happening. I mean, I put tape up there where they gotta stop them umbrellas, but once you over crank them, there's a brake system in them, and then it locks up that brake system.
And they get used quite a bit?
Well, last year, I got to the point where I couldn't get the one down, so it stayed up till the end of the year. Otherwise, I would have never, otherwise, we had both of them down last year. Got that one up, and for a while, I couldn't get it down, so we just left it up the rest of the year, till the end of the year.
Yeah, otherwise
But-
it's like a daily deal.
That's always a consideration for me, looking at a new pool, if there's any way to get away from those things and have a permanent, I think. with,
Yeah,
You know, some kind of a permanent structure tied off to a pole or to your building somehow. I don't
Even
know,
like
big
those-
shade umbrella.
those big like the big metal things, and they have like holes in them. They almost look like a giant cheese grater where like it provides shade, but the wind can get through. Yeah.
Nachos are made.
So that's something you think we have to look into, or for this year?
Well, I already got a new one sitting in my office, but now I gotta order another one because the other one is shot too.
All right, that's it, Dan, that you had? Okay.
I'll
Thank
come
you.
back with updates on that, and then guard updates, and I'll just let them know that that as of right now, that's, the wages are what they were last year, but you guys are sitting down to look at it in April. So
And do we know what other pool managers get around here?
I don't, never asked.
Can you ask that?
What? He was talking to me while you were trying to talk to me.
When you're call around and ask what they're paying, or no, what were you gonna call around about?
Wages.
The wages for the lifeguards. Okay.
Way too much.
He thinks too much and he wants me to get a license.
And then ask if the managers have their license.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to get it. I would like to have it. I'd like to be more informed than less informed.
I
So.
want to be competitive there too. So we don't want to lose you.
The CPOs is, I mean, it's a lot more than just the operation of the pool. There's a lot of it on management, managing the pool and stuff too, in those classes and the tests, so. And I don't know a darn thing about managing. I don't know much about anything.
Okay,
Tell the kids that every day.
all right. Wow. We're dragging this out.
Yep.
Sorry,
All right.
it's me. It's fine.
No. I'm okay with it. My wife's been, well, I don't know how to go.
Hey, Miranda, did we?
I don't like to be home alone.
Or did you get?
I'll stay till midnight if we have to.
Did not get a motion on the email. Recommended council, right? Was council
All right,
approve it?
we'll go into new business.
Oh,
hang on here.
Park bench donation?
We need a motion on that easement, on that easement.
To approve
The
that,
Gander easement?
approve that easement from,
Oh, okay.
But does council, is it, because I see that Todd's supposed to sign it.
There's nothing we can do. We're not gonna tear it
I
down.
don't know.
What's
We'll
that?
have them
Not gonna tear
approve
it
it
down.
when it's approved.
Not until they sell.
I thought there would have been a place
Or
for.
when it goes over, they can't rebuild it.
It's on
Yeah.
parkland.
So I make a motion to approve the easement.
I will second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the easement with the Grand Roots. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Park bench donation. Let's see, you
Yeah. Whenever it was, we talked about, we were gonna have a certain criteria for park benches because we had them. Well, now I've got an Eagle Scout project.
oh, they want to do like the other ones?
Yeah, just one bench. That was, and I think we should continue to allow these young people to get their badges and awards, Eagle Scout awards and stuff like that. I think if we probably maybe select a spot, we got wood benches along the trail from the last Eagle Scout project that was, I don't know how many years ago. I think that was Wyatt Mulder, wasn't it? And I think we could add them somewhere like that, a wood bench. But they wanted to build it and they're using it as a project for the PAC 59.
Because they were kind of originally talking about maybe down by the pickleball court, I think, when, but I like your idea. If we were going to allow them wood ones, we keep along the walking path along the river and then stay uniform
Yeah,
with the other ones within,
inside the park.
inside the park. I know there's some up on the hill here, but that was before we,
That was part of that last Eagle project too.
Yep.
So I just need a motion to be able to accept the park donation. And with that park donation, he was buying all of his own, they were buying their own lumber for it. Did you include the
probably in the motion that
plans?
the
I thought we did.
troop donation, the site of the bench for,
I did, haven't.
Hey. I
I
will,
mean, I just wanted that included, that,
so we need a motion for
the approval of that.
approval. Okay, so I will make a motion to approve for the PAC 59, it looks like, to build the bench and then have the bench placed per Mike's approval. Right? Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. The Greater Minnesota Parks and Trails Membership Renewal Request. Request from,
Them. They just said, they sent it to us because we hadn't paid our membership for 2023 yet. So we've been a member of this group since 2015.
We do this every year.
We do this every year, yeah, since 2015.
and it's a good thing to be a member of?
I think so. I included in the memo some of the reasons, or some of the things they do for us and why it's beneficial.
Did you see the invoices for this?
Yeah, oh, it's $165, huh?
Seen
Yeah.
any invoices for this?
Yeah.
I've never seen.
It went up, can't remember if it was this year to last year or the last couple of years. It's gone up from, I think it used to be 150 and now it's 165.
Is there a way that I can get the newsletter to set out for our board meetings each month? And or a link to an email chain?
Yeah, you want to be included on the stuff they send? Yeah, because right now I think it might just be me. So whoever wants it, yeah.
And then we can get,
Oh, I think I get
Oh, do you get it too?
More efforts, you know? more
Yeah.
contracts.
Additional contacts, yep. Yep,
Mhm.
yep. So add Mike to that additional contact.
Yep.
So we need a motion and a second to approve that membership.
I'll make a motion to join the Ice Cream of America and Popcorn Club. Oh, so sorry. Retract. I'll make a motion to join Greater Minnesota Parks and Trails membership for 2023.
I will second.
The motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
However, the ice cream one sounds really good. I feel like I might be down for that one.
The IC.
Okay, I think that was,
Ice cream and popcorn.
give it up there. I talked to Larry today.
Storm again.
After that, yes, hopefully there in March, we can get it all. So in April, the electrician and the plumber can get in there and then we can come back and finish. And are they on the countertop and the sink, is that on
As
the,
soon as it warms up, that's all ready to go.
that, yep,
It's all up there, so that'd be a nice addition to that up there too.
yeah. I think huge. Anything else? And we need a motion to, motion to adjourn?
Before we adjourn, I just want to say thank you again for the hard work, all this organization, all the phone calls and all the emails. It's very great work, you know, so thank you.
Mhm.
And I will motion to adjourn.
I will second.
All in favor?
I
Opposed? Carried.
am ready for bed.